I recently decided to watch 10 hours of motivational speeches. Yes, you heard that right. 10 whole hours. I was curious to see if I'd come out of it feeling more motivated or if I'd learned something new about success, life, and personal growth. So I dug into speeches from big names like Tony Robbins and Les Brown, and even some lesser-known speakers with powerful messages. Here's what I learned. First off, mindset is everything. We've all heard it before, but honestly, hearing it over and over from these speakers really drove it home. Tony Robbins emphasizes how belief controls your actions. If you believe you can achieve something, you'll take the steps to make it happen. One of the most striking things I heard was, your thoughts control your destiny. Think about that. If your thoughts are filled with doubt and negativity, your actions will reflect that. But when you change your mindset to one of possibility and opportunity, you start seeing the world differently. Challenges don't become roadblocks. They become stepping stones. Next up, action is where the magic happens. Motivation alone isn't enough. Eric Thomas, in particular, hit this hard, saying, you can't wish for it. You've got to work for it. That really struck me. Motivation might get you started, but it's the action that makes things happen. Motivation doesn't always show up when you need it, but if you have discipline and a relentless drive to keep going, even when things are hard, that's what separates the talkers from the doers. Consistency is key. Small actions every single day build momentum, even when you're not feeling motivated. Then there's failure. It's not the end of the road. It's the beginning of your journey. J.K. Rowling's story was a prime example of this. She faced rejection after rejection before her books took off. It was failure that pushed her to keep going. Les Brown said, you can fall down, but you're not a failure unless you stay down. And that's the key, learning from your failures. Failure isn't final, it's feedback. Every failure is a lesson that gets you one step closer to success. Finding your purpose was another huge takeaway. When you know your why, everything else starts falling into place. Simon Sinek's talk on Start with Why resonated deeply. Knowing your purpose is like having a compass. It guides you through the tough times and helps you make decisions with confidence. When you know why you're doing something, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like a mission. Whether it's career, relationships, or personal growth, clarity of purpose makes all the difference. Finally, I realize how important it is to surround yourself with the right people. The people you spend the most time with shape your mindset and your future. If you're constantly around people who don't push you, who aren't growing or striving for anything, you'll stay stagnant. Les Brown nailed it when he said, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. And one of the best ways to get started is by being around people who challenge you, support you, and hold you accountable. So after 10 hours of motivational speeches, the main lesson I took away is this. It's all about mindset, action, failure, purpose, and the people you surround yourself with. Motivation is just a spark, but it's your disciplined mindset and daily actions that keep the fire burning. If you truly want to succeed, it's not about waiting for motivation to hit. It's about building the habits and environment that make success inevitable. I reflected on all these lessons. It became clear that the real challenge isn't about waiting for some magical moment of motivation or inspiration. It's about building a lifestyle that automatically drives you toward your goals, even when you don't feel like it. Success doesn't come from grand, sudden bursts of energy or genius ideas. It's the result of consistent effort, smart decisions, and embracing challenges along the way. One of the most powerful things I noticed in all these speeches was how many times the speakers talked about resilience. The path to success is never smooth. You'll face setbacks, criticism, and doubts, not just from others, but often from yourself. But what separates those who thrive from those who fall short is the ability to keep moving forward, no matter how hard it gets. It's like a muscle. You have to build your resilience through practice, failure, and perseverance. I also realize that while you can listen to motivational speeches all day long, none of it matters if you don't take action. Listening to a speaker's story or advice can give you a burst of energy, but unless you apply what you've learned, that burst quickly fades away. One thing that stood out was how many successful people are constantly learning and adapting. They don't rest on their achievements. They keep moving, keep trying new things, and keep growing. Success isn't a destination. It's a continuous journey. And let's be real, failure? It's inevitable. But when you hear stories of people who failed repeatedly and who eventually turned those failures into something incredible, you start to see it for what it truly is, an opportunity to get better. We tend to think of failure as something to avoid at all costs, but the most successful people actually embrace it because it gives them the feedback they need to grow. The more you fail, the more you learn about yourself, your limits, and your potential. It also hit me just how much purpose drives everything. When you know what you're working towards and why it matters, you become unstoppable. Having a deep sense of purpose acts as a guiding star, especially when you face tough decisions or setbacks. It's what keeps you going when the motivation fades. And it's not just about career goals. Your purpose affects your relationships, your health, and your overall sense of fulfillment. Without it, everything can feel like a grind. But with purpose, everything feels aligned. Finally, the power of community really struck me. I think we often underestimate the role that the people around us play in our success. The right people can lift you up, challenge you, and push you to be your best. But if you're surrounded by negativity, complacency, or people who don't understand your goals, that energy will drain you. It's like trying to run a race while carrying weights. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, and who believe in your potential, and watch how your life transforms. So, after watching 10 hours of motivational speeches, I came out with a lot more than just inspiration. I came out with a roadmap. Build a right mindset, take consistent action, embrace failure, find your purpose, and curate your circle. The real question now is, what are you to do with all of this? Because motivation might be the spark, but you are the one who has to fuel the fire and keep it burning every day.